Herm calling in. I guess he wants to chime in on his good look, bad look Monday.
Yes.
Good morning.
Good morning, Herb.
Good morning, everyone. Hope you guys and ladies are well.
Good, man.
Good.
Hope you are.
Doing good.
Bad look. The NCAA football committee, they didn't look good, and they have made the change. This is not going to continue. With respect to the Notre Dame and Marshall game,
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I know you guys are busy, so you can't keep up with everything, but that shouldn't have been too much of a surprise.
Okay.
Because the NCAA allowed teams to stock up on players.
Yeah, there you go.
And if you heard the announcement on the TV, they said, Marshall has some players that have overcome some obstacles, and then you say, because if you look at the roster of Marshall, they have 12 6-year players.
Yeah, that's what
They've got 8 5-year players, 17 4-year players. The running back who ran crazy is a 5-star guy who committed to Florida State in 2017. And you can go down the roster, and you'll see these are men up and down the roster.
Gotcha.
And so my son said, well, maybe we can handle Notre Dame. I said, we don't have the roster that Marshall has. I mean, you're talking about grown men. And the same thing happened out in Southern Cal. They've got 45 transfers, including the top players across the country. And so the NCAA said, this is it. You can't transfer multiple times anymore, and you're not going to have these 6-year players. So their brand is hurt by Notre Dame losing. Of course, as fans, we like it, but for them, the brand is Notre Dame and these other teams. And so this is what's going to happen in the next couple of years. App is going to be good, but they're not going to be beating Texas A&M. And Marshall is not going to be Notre Dame because they're not going to have the players. When you think about Carolina has now played 3 games. And in all 3 games, the quarterbacks that they have played have been transfers from other schools, 6-year players, 5-year players, and the like. But that's going to change.
Wow.
Herb, thank you so much.
That's
I
awesome.
really appreciate it because that's exactly
good insight.
Some of my thoughts. That's why I call it the NIL weekend. Looking at some of these programs, some of these teams, I attribute it to, I call it the COVID, coming out of the COVID era with players being given that extra year, which now has created this super senior. I think that's what we calling them now, super seniors or whatever. Especially ones that were redshirted, and then they got another year. So they're like, this is like they're almost 7 years playing football. Some of these schools. But I appreciate it, Herb. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, man.
Thank you.
Thank you.
But it's across the board though. You see it in some of these programs. They really have. So that's why some people saying they won't last at Jackson State and other places with some of the transfers. But right now, I think this will be the last year the players that kind of got to take
the
advantage of the COVID year.
But he makes an excellent point, something I hadn't really thought about until he was talking about it. I mean, with the transfer portal, with the extra year you can get,
that's right.
It's just incredible how
portal and the extra year.
Yeah, so you got some teams that can be really, really good for a couple of years because of that.
Right, right.
And so maybe we shouldn't be so like, wow, so blown out the way, because Marshall beating Notre Dame or whoever. That's very
When
good.
they listed
But it's the eye
the
test, too,
number of people, like 17 here and 8. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
As long as you got spots.
Yeah. I'll tell you now, USC, University of Southern California, is ranked number 12 going to this weekend. They'll be in the top 10. And he's right. They got 45 transfers out there. And all those guys came from like some big time schools, Oklahoma. And they got good overnight. They got an outstanding quarterback from D.C., Gonzaga High School. Shout out Hanif, want to make sure I said that. And they had a number 1 Bolitnikov, number 1 receiver from last year, transferred from Pittsburgh. That went out there. So this whole portal and the COVID thing, he's 100% right about that.
Mississippi State, watching them on Saturday.
Yeah.
I said, ooh. Oh, they've been in the portal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They've been in the portal. So, like, there are teams that right now this year in these conferences are going to be a problem because they have gotten better, and I mean they've gotten better like we just said overnight. But I think some of that too is because you could do it. So they have ended the multiple transfers, right? You can't do back to back, right? I don't remember.
No. I don't think you ever do back to back, like go one school to go another school after that.
Yeah, I think this past some kind of way this past year ended up with players were doing that some kind of way.